Good evening. Movie review time. Not done one of these for a while. Went to see Death on the Mile a couple of weeks ago. Death on the Mile? Death on the Nile. And it was all right. I kind of enjoyed it while it was on. Although the more I thought about it, the more I hated it. So I didn't really do a review. Anyway, The Duke. Directed by Roger Michell, not sure how you say his name. Starring Jim Broadbent and Helen Mirren. What's it like? Is it any good? Should you spend your money? Stick around and you'll find out. Now, I went to see this film. Is that annoying? I went to see this film at the East Dulwich Picture House with my darling wife Jane. And isn't that annoying? It is annoying, isn't it? Can you imagine sitting through most of a film with some plonker sitting in the seat beside you doing that pretty much all of the time? I mean, I never understand, right, why going to the cinema is an excuse to have a meal. I mean, why not have a meal before you go to the film? Why not have a meal after you go to the film? Don't have a meal during the fucking film. I mean, it just spoils it for everybody else. Anyway, so we went to see The Duke, right? And beforehand, you know when you get like the censorship certificate, I don't know what it's called, British Board of Film Censors, something like that. Film censors. And it says moderate sex. Moderate sex. I mean, you could say, like, I think, was it Woody Allen who said, even the worst I ever had was right on the money. So, I mean, I want to know what moderate sex is. Do you know what moderate sex is? I mean, it's not bad sex, right? It's not really good sex. It's not sort of sex you want to tell your mates about. It's just kind of moderate sex. So, if you want to see moderate sex, go and see The Duke. So, what is it? Well, it stars Jim Broadbent and Helen Mirren, as I've already said. Jim Broadbent plays a gentleman by the name of Kempton Bunton. Yes, crazy name, crazy guy. This is a true story, by the way. And Helen Mirren plays his long-suffering wife. And Kempton Bunton, back in 1961, steals a painting of the Duke of Wellington, hence the title, though it's not a documentary about Prince Andrew, which is what I thought it was, from the National Gallery, ostensibly because he wants to raise money for TV licenses for OAPs, very topical film there. And he hangs on to it for a while until he's caught and then he's sentenced to some time in jail. And that, dear friends, is the film. And it's one of those films where, sometimes you go and see another film and they have a trailer for a film and you watch the trailer. Well, if you've seen the trailer for The Duke, you've seen the film, right? It is, what is it? Is it Ronseal? Ronseal, a boy at my school called Ronseal. Is it Ronseal that does what it says on the tin, right? I mean, if you've seen the trailer for The Duke, well, that's it. You've seen the film. No more, no less. That's it. That is the sub. There's no subplot. No, there's a little bit of a subplot. It's not really a subplot. There's no hidden depth to this film, or if there is, I didn't fall into it. What you see is what you get, and so you want to know, well, what's it like? It's all right. It's all right. Pleasant enough. But then, I had a dump this morning. It was all right. Pleasant enough. I saw Bargain Loving Brits in the Sun on Channel 5 last night, one of my favourite programmes. It was all right. Wasn't great. It was all right. Pleasant enough. But I'll tell you the difference. My darling wife and I spent 30 quid, 30 of your English pounds to watch this film. Now, I didn't spend 30 quid to have a dump. I didn't spend 30 quid to watch Bargain Loving Brits in the Sun. I didn't even spend 30 quid to go for a ride on my Brompton. Well, I mean, the Brompton costs more than 30 quid, but you know what I mean. And it's all right. I mean, one of the things about it, right, there are two things about it that I hate, right? One thing I really hate is nostalgia. I hate fucking nostalgia. What is it about, 40 or 50 or 60 years ago that seems some kind of golden age that you have to make a film about it all the time? I mean, it was shit in 1960. I mean, it's shit now, but, and the other thing, right, the other thing I hate about nostalgia is I hate films about Northerners, right? Now, I don't want to sound kind of mean about people in the north. I mean, I know they're really nice and friendly and stuff, but when you get these films about how people in the north are really friendly, and there's this real sense of community, and everybody looks out for each other and all that kind of stuff. You just think, oh, for fuck's sake, why don't you come down south where everybody's miserable and hates each other and picks fights on the tube? That's what life is like. Not everybody being nice to each other and wanting free TV licenses for OAPs, which, incidentally, I'm not in favour of, right? And the reason I'm not in favour of it is if it's because OAPs are poor, then give a free TV licence to everybody who's poor, right? Plenty of OAPs are not poor. And if it's about, oh, people are lonely, people are on their own, okay, well, if people are on their own and they need a free TV and they're poor, well, then give them one. But why do you have to be old? Why don't you give it to a young person? Why don't you give it to a 19-year-old person who's poor and lonely and living in a bedsit or something? Why can't they have a free TV licence? Why does it have to be old people all the time? I fucking hate old people. So there's three things, right? There's three things I hate. I hate nostalgia, right? I don't hate the North, but the North of England. I just hate these kind of films about the North all the time. And then I hate, what was the third? It was old people. So if you put those three things together, you get this film. I mean, Jim Broadbent, yeah, he's all right, he's pretty good, but he's made much better films. That's the thing. Helen Mirren, well, Helen Mirren does a kind of Helen Mirren thing. And the thing about Kempton Bunton, right, who on the surface, is this, he's real, not pillar of the community, but he's always trying to help people, he's starting petitions and supporting local causes and stuff. But the guy, pardon my language, is a CUNT to his wife. And I saw this interview with Ricky Gervais not long ago, where the interviewer said, basically, Ricky Gervais doesn't come across as a very nice person. So he's always going on about being nice to dogs and animals and people and so on and so forth. But actually, he's not a very nice person. And the thing about Kempton Bunton, right, is he's not a very nice person. So he might want a free TV licence for people he doesn't really know. But when it comes to his family, no, he doesn't give a shit. So at the end of the day, what was the film like? It was bollocks. Oh, it was shite. First thought, he was pleasant enough, yeah, but I had a dump, right? And a dump this morning was pleasant enough. If there's any justice in the world, I'll have a dump tomorrow, which is even nicer, but that won't cost me 30 quid. So, should you go and see the Duke? No, don't go and see the Duke. Now, if it had been a documentary about Prince Andrew, which it wasn't, I might have enjoyed it. But as it is, waste of fucking 30 quid. And if you were the twat, right, and I'm sorry there's so much bad language in this, but if you were the twat, right, who was doing this all the way through, well, most of the way through the fucking film, right, then I hope you suffer. That's it. That's all I can say. I hope you suffer. So, sorry, rather loud sniff there, was it? That's probably even more annoying than me rustling that mini cheddars. Mini cheddars. These are something my son enjoys eating, and unfortunately he's away at university, so he couldn't go and see the film with me. But if he had, he would have hated it, as I did. Thanks for watching. See you next.